Across the American Southwest lie the remains of an ancient world. Not just isolated ruins, but entire villages and cities, connected by roads that once stretched for miles. Recently, while scanning Google Earth, I noticed two strange places that looked more like ancient cities than anything natural. Their size stood out to me, so I started digging into the research and discoveries later in the video. But my first stop is to a great house that is easier to reach, and very likely connected to those other sites. I'll explain how it all ties together soon, but for now, this first site takes us to Bluff, Utah. Okay, here is the Bluff Great House. So what did this great house look like originally? Well, it's just a pile of rubble, but archaeologists have pieced together that it looked like this. This sign has also seen it better days. But you can see, so this is the whole area that we're at. I'm right here. This is the big rubble area. There's a great kiva over here. Also ancient roads, Chacoan roads, that I've talked a lot lately, probably too much. But we can see one of those roads right here. So this is the city of Bluff, town of Bluff, I should say. There's restaurants, there's shops. It's a small town, but I love this area. It's beautiful. It's right next to the river, San Juan River is over there. But this is the thing I wanted to show you, this Chacoan road right here. So you can see it go down this hill, and it probably just goes on over there. This is the Great House. Dozens of rooms. It had 3 kivas over here, which are ceremonial and public spaces. 2 stories tall. This would have been a very imposing structure. Like, you get the view of the whole area from up here on this hill. And like I said before, there's a road leading down that way and to the southeast, which hints at a connection with Chaco Canyon. But I wanted to show you this great kiva first. And oh, look on the ground. Archaeological markers. From what I've learned, a great kiva is essentially the same as a kiva, but just very large. It would have been a place for a lot more people to gather instead of a smaller kiva, of course. Yeah, very large depression here. I think the sign said it's 45 meters in diameter. So, yeah, very interesting. I love discovering interesting things out here, and that also includes the gear I use. If I found something that has worked for me, maybe it will work for you too. That's why I've partnered with Outisan, who makes the e-Wagon Air. It has already been a big help on my adventures, and let me show you why I love it. This is called the Outisan e-Wagon Air. It's a power-assisted wagon. That's right, power-assisted. So this thing has motors in it to move it. So this wagon has been very helpful for us at home already, and I'm going to show how it can be beneficial for you too. The Outisan e-Wagon Air has a battery to power its wheels. It charges fast, and you can even use the battery as a power bank, so you can charge your phone or tablet. I can even charge my camera gear with it. The wagon unfolds in seconds, and there is really no assembly required. It only weighs about 40 pounds, so it's easy to lift and maneuver around. It can easily tow over 165 pounds and has a range of over 9 miles with that battery. Oh, and the wagon even has a light. The motors in the wheels give you a boost going uphill, and it automatically slows down on the way down. So I'm never straining or chasing after it like a normal wagon. It keeps the wagon from rolling into the street, so it's safe loading groceries or garden supplies. I give the e-Wagon Air a good test, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so it took a while, but I found one of the steepest roads in my town, and it's this bike path here. It goes over there, and I got the Outisan e-Wagon Air all loaded up with my gear. Has about 100 pounds of my gear. So how does this work? So this works by just the handle. So see this little button I'm pushing right here? That's it. It can tell if I'm going downhill, uphill, if I'm pulling, if I'm pushing. Like, this is so easy, look. So the Outisan e-Wagon Air uses what's called a control algorithm. It basically automatically checks your movements to copy you perfectly. All right, so I'm going back up this hill now, but I have no worries. Everything's gonna be fine. I'll show you, watch this. I only have 2 fingers
and I'm pulling up on this hill. Look,
The wagon automatically stops when you let go of the handle.
barely any effort. And now watch the automatic brakes. I love this part. It just knows what to do. Now for safety, put on the manual brakes and I'm good to go. Watch. Pick up where I left off. Do you hear how quiet that is? These wheels are quiet. I'm gonna show you our other wagon, loaded up with 100 pounds of gear, and just show you the difference. Same gear, same 100 pounds, regular wagon. Let's see what happens. Okay, as I'm going down this slight slope, I can already feel it like pushing me, going uphill. Obviously, this is much different.
The wagon has big cargo space and even folds down in the back for longer items like fishing poles or chairs or anything else. It's great for camping trips or hauling oversized gear and supplies at home. The tires are great. They're all-terrain rubber tires. They can handle rough terrain. The entire thing is built weather resistant, so a little rain won't stop it.
And check this out. Yeah, it's pretty strong.
I've really loved using my Outisan e-Wagon Air. If you want to check it out, use the link below in the description, and at checkout, use my code KOL Trek Planner for $50 off. Now, let's get back to the adventure.
So this is the back side. The sign said this is where the two-story side of the Great House was. I'm not really sure what all these, I keep seeing these like, I think those are just markers. I'm not sure what's going on here. But we can see in here that they did some preservation work. So this site is monitored by the Southwest Heritage Foundation, and archaeologists from the University of Colorado have done work here. So that's what we're looking at here. Oh, this is cool. Wow. Yeah, really neat. Oh, look at the pottery. Remember, don't take or gather these. It's red, black on red. Lots of different styles, huh? You can see how they cut the stones. Look how like smooth this wall is. Relatively smooth. It's not like completely smoothed over with mortar or plaster or anything. But you can see that these stones appear to have been cut, is what I'm gathering from this. So the reason why I'm here is to show that there are Chacoan roads here that connect other communities. All these communities were linked together, and the more that I've done research, the more that I've learned that I've already been to places that I didn't know about that were linked to all these great houses, and there's a lot of them. And there's a couple more great houses in the area that I'm going to take you to. I'm going to try to piece together all of that as best as I can, just so we can get a little picture of what ancient life could have been like for these people, at least how their community is connected together. So that's what we're going to be doing today.
Here is a LiDAR scan of this site. You can clearly see some road indentations. The next stop I'm making is to another great house, and it's just up the street on Highway 191 in Blanding. You may remember me visiting several Chacoan great houses on my channel. I've always been fascinated by how far Chacoan influence spread across the Southwest. Some of these great houses remain unexcavated, and that's fine, while others have been studied in detail. My next stop is to a great house that has a reconstructed kiva. This is a great park and museum that I've been to many times. And if you've never been here, it is absolutely worth a visit to see the many beautiful artifacts and learn about the ancient people who once lived here, but also learn about the modern Native American tribes who still live in the region and still have ancestral ties to these places. Okay, let's go check out the pueblo outside. It is one of the best preserved Chacoan outliers in the northern San Juan region. Built in the year 1000 to 1125, it rose multiple stories and contained numerous rooms arranged in masonry blocks with several kivas, including a great kiva set apart from the main structure. Excavations in the 1970s revealed Chaco-style masonry and artifacts from long-distance trade, such as decorated pottery and turquoise, linking the site firmly to the wider Chaco world. Archaeologists interpret it as a community hub, combining residential, ceremonial, and political roles. Today, stabilized walls and reconstructed kivas allow visitors to directly experience Chacoan architecture outside of Chaco Canyon.
Look how the roof is made that way. Okay, so this is another great house, the Great Kiva I wanted to show you. And this has Chacoan roads leading out of it too.
Now I'm headed to one of the things I saw on Google Earth. Since this was my first time visiting here, I was excited to see how it fit in with the other sites. I didn't realize it at the time, but I'd later uncover some fascinating details, which I'll share with you soon. So right behind me on this hill is another Chacoan great house. What's very interesting about this one is that it sits in the middle of this canyon. You can see down and then up canyon and all around this area. So I know of many archaeological sites that circle this entire area, and I'm wondering if having a big Chacoan great house up there could be a sign of kind of dominance, like we're in control, the Chacoans are in control. It would be an interesting symbol to have this really large great house up there and to know that the Chacoans had influence over this area. What's also interesting is that I have found evidence of roads leading to this great house. The LiDAR scan isn't as clear as the other places, but it gives us more details. So we have already been to 3 great houses, and now our last destination is our 4th and final great house. This is another Google Earth find. I was especially excited to see this site because it seemed like one of the larger ones in the area. So I just got here at the 4th great house that I want to share with you in this video. This one is not that long of a hike. This one is located on a hill up here. And if you wanted to project influence and ideas and knowledge and a political system, this would be a good way of doing it. See this? I'm still 200 yards from the great house, and I'm finding potsherds all over. Look at that colorful piece right there. I'm just gonna follow this wash down. So I'm just below it. It's right behind me. Guys, look at this. Look at all that. There's so many different types. You really have to watch your step. That's why I'm looking down at the ground while I'm hiking. Supposedly there's a great kiva here. I think there's a big circle right there. I can kind of see it goes down. Wow, is
visit. That is 35 feet across. Over here, this one's a little bit smaller. This isn't a 300, 400 room Pueblo. This is probably like a dozen or two rooms. And obviously, since it's so close to the road, this has been picked over a million times, which you're not supposed to do. Just leave everything as it is. Do not pick up anything, don't dig. Look at this tower. This is the only substantial structure still standing. Probably it looked like maybe a circle tower or something. Looks like there's something else here too. A little smaller one. So these are right at the edge to this wash. Here's another, probably a tower of the same kind.
You can see the subtle line of an ancient Chacoan road here. It appears to go south, then east towards another great house. Here are the 4 sites we visited today, marked in blue. The yellow lines show just some of the ancient roads I've identified in this area. And like I said before, these are known as Chacoan roads. They appear to be linking these communities together. Chacoan roads are remarkably straight and uniform, even over 100 miles from Chaco Canyon. I've also traced evidence of these roads across plateaus and mesas leading all the way back to Chaco itself. Their purpose is still debated, but they may have been used for ceremonies, trade, and more.
I want to thank you for watching this video. It's been fun to piece together this mystery and see it all together. It just makes me feel like I have a connection to the past. Thank you so much for letting me be part of your week, even if it's just one video. I try to post every single week something new, something fun, some kind of big adventure. It means so much that you're here. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope to see you on the next adventure.